Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Zealand. The world in which we are playing in will go to some dark places. The content of this series will therefore be violent and dark in nature, so if you find yourself easily offended or are rather squeamish, please do look away.
Kia ora guys, gals, and legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Zealand. This is Chapter 2, Part 3, Down the Rabbit Hole. And we are currently at the hole in question. And as of now, as the sun is starting to set, the rain has let up a little bit from where it was before. It is just a light drizzle now, and the insects, the sounds of the forest that you've heard the night before, return. The structure has been built both by Jonah and by Skulk, and now all that's left is to kind of start to bunk down, because the light, when it starts to go, it goes fast, and that's on a good day when there is still light. Right now, there isn't much at all, and so you're losing it fast. It's getting dimmer and dimmer by the second. What are you going to
do? Kevin, what are you up to?
You still haven't heard anything from Kevin.
Yeah.
Still nothing.
Been?
It's been like a good 10-15 minutes while you guys have been building the shelter, and you haven't heard anything back from Kevin.
So Nick, are you still with Jake, or are you with me and Jonah building the shelter?
Well, I mean, what's Jake doing?
I probably would have gone to help build the shelter.
Okay, alright Nick. So it is just Jake by the hole by himself, and you do wait there for a time, and then you hear a kind of like huffing. And you see
from down the hole,
Kev come out and kind of look up towards you, and his hands are covered in blood, and you can see that there's a lot of blood on as well. Is everything okay up there?
Yeah, the other guys are just building a shelter. We're going to bunk down here tonight. We'll bunk here, up here.
Okay. Look, I think it's best if I stay down here with him tonight. He's not good. He's out now. I don't think he's going to come to. I've got him as stable as I can possibly get him, but I'm not a paramedic. I have basic skills in this. I've done what I can for now. The rest is up to him.
Alright. I'll get you a, do you have a bag or something? I want to get a radio down to him, so he's got the radio.
You only have what you have with you. The only bag you've seen is like the large pack that Jonah has.
Catch, no. The rope's sort of too thick to tie it around a small radio, eh? That's not really going to work.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's climbing rope, so yeah. It's got a little bit of elasticity to it, but yeah, it's a little much.
We're not too far, so we're not going to stay too far away from it. So if he's yelling out, we should be able to hear him.
Yeah. Oh, have you mentioned radios to him at all? Like,
no.
No, you haven't. Okay, all right.
Well, I'll be like, yeah, I don't know, probably not.
Okay, cool. Okay, no, you're too high up. Okay, that's all good. Okay, look, if there's any problems, get Jonah to call me, okay?
With a cell phone?
No, on the radio.
You guys have radios?
Yes.
Well, that makes things easier.
You got a radio?
Yeah. Yes, we do. Now, to leave the rope in the knot.
Are you alright?
Yeah. Thinking, I might pull the rope up, because if there's another guy here, we don't want him to be seen.
Okay.
But we'll keep it tied to the tree. I'm just going to get it out of the way.
If I find anything down here that might be able to help us, might be able to tell us more about what's going on, I'll let you know. But it's pretty basic down here. This isn't luxury living. It's a cave, but there's more to it. He is calling out. I'm just trying not to shout.
Yeah. Alright, just let us know.
I will.
Pull the rope up and tuck it behind the tree and go to the camp.
Okay, alright. You come back to the camp and Jonah and I don't know about the others are starting to settle down for the evening.
Yep.
And Jonah is looking as comfortable as he can underneath this thing. As I said, the rain has kind of stopped for now.
I'm fine. I got my rain jacket.
Okay, alright. Well, Jonah just kind of like turns in,
So who's on first
rifle's
watch?
close to his thing.
I say when Jake gets there.
Yeah. So it's the three of you at the moment.
I've
including
never
Nick.
watched, so I mean, we just
None of us have watches.
someone takes watch until they feel sleepy.
Can we see the? We can't see the stars or the sun or.
No,
the
it's
sun,
like full
the
cloud
moon.
cover. Full cloud cover.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to. Once it gets really cold, someone changes over, and once it gets even colder, someone changes over. When it starts to warm up, we all wake up.
Yeah, we'll just have to just wing it, just play it by ear. If you feel sleepy, wake up the next
wake up
person.
someone else, and yeah, that's what we're going to have to do.
If we don't get ambushed by bandits.
Wake me up near the morning.
Alright, so
I'll take the last one.
Jonah's last. Who wants to be first?
I'll go first.
Nick, you want to be second or third?
I'm easy. Whatever works for you.
I'll be third then. So
Okay.
wake me up when you feel sleepy.
When you gonna go?
That too.
All right. Watch.
Okay.
I watch.
Everyone else does try to rest as best they can. You feel worn out from this day, and like your hands, your socks, everything is wet. For those of you who do have some kind of rain cover, some kind of protection, it does keep you a little bit better for the most part. But
And
you
we got a
still
beanie on
feel
as well.
you still feel like the effects of the weather and climbing into this kind of this basic bivouac.
Once we get
At first-
under there, what I'd, depending on how wet I would, say take my shoes off, get my socks out, rinse them out,
Yep.
and probably even just rub them and try to get some friction on them to warm them, not warm them up, dry them out. And
If I see him doing that, yeah.
Okay, all right. So the two of you do that while Jonah is kind of like tucked up in the corner of this thing. Essentially, like the thing itself, the tarp isn't that far off the ground, so you can't really so much as sit up in here. So you're kind of like doing a lot of the stuff on your side for the most part. But then you do eventually, after all of that, rest your heads as best you can. And the night begins. The sun leaves you and darkness envelops the place. Whoever is on watch has the torch at any one time. So you have the torch to start, and Jake, if I could get you to roll perception for me. Just flat. Actually, if everyone on watch could just do a perception roll for now, that would be fantastic. Just flat. Okay.
What do you get?
I failed miserably. 99.
Ooh!
99 problems and a pass ain't one.
26 pass.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, the night does come for you. And with that, we're going to be leaving the hole behind. Triton,
Yo,
you, at this point,
Fucked up.
are...
proper fuck.
You've completely come down, and you are passed out in that large bed. At the moment, you're not in the swing. The swing hasn't been set up. But you're completely passed out on that bed at the moment, and you are having one hell of a sleep for now. Now, back at the bunkhouses. Chloe, you are with all the others. You are in bunkhouse 1, which no one's really spent a lot of time in, other than when Jake was awkwardly washing the dishes in front of everyone.
Very passive aggressively, if I
Yes.
remember right. Fuck, it was.
darn
And so,
tootin'.
it's been a while since Dan has been gone. And it's starting to get a little darker outside, and you can see everyone's starting to get a little nervous again.
Well, I'm getting nervous too.
Okay, all right. The crying from the other room has stopped. It stopped a while ago, and it's been a little bit more quieter. And you do see the door open from inside there, and out steps a young girl. And I don't know if you've had the chance to meet her yet.
I haven't met anyone, so remember, like, when the first time I came in, we basically walked past and went straight to that little house.
Yeah.
So, like, I haven't met anyone. This is my first time meeting anyone.
Okay. So you see this girl walk out, and she has like an incredibly tear-stained face at the moment.
Red cheeks. All
Red
puffy,
cheeks, but she has like a kind of a little bit of a fire in her, and she walks straight up to you.
Straight up to me?
Straight up to you, looks you right in the face, and she says, "Was it you that killed them?"
I'm not smiling in game because I'm
Okay.
this thing. I'm just like, oh, here a moment. Yeah, it was me.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I wasn't quick enough to save your mum. Oh shit, I'm getting really emotional.
It's okay. She was too good anyway. For all of this. To this point, you hear footsteps on the balcony outside.
Yeah.
And you hear on the door. Frank quickly kind of like gets up,
I looked
pulling because at this point the blind has been drawn, and he pulls back the blind, and blind, I say blind, it's more of like a curtain, and he opens it up, and Dan is there in his very, very tight shirt. At the moment he has his baseball bat over one shoulder, and he has Charles like up under this, and Charles is semi-lucid.
Okay.
There you are, my darling Jen. She's so beautiful. And at this point, Dan's like, "Shut up," and he brings him inside, and kind of whispers to Frank. You're close enough at this point to hear it, and he just says, "Take him to the other room. Just make sure he doesn't get back out. I found him in one of the boats, the dinghies. He was trying to get out. Passed out in there. He doesn't know." And he closes the door behind him, and he passes him off to Frank, and Frank takes Charles away into the other room. And Dan's left kind of standing there, and Jen is shaken. And at this point, she walks away and moves over towards the bookshelf and just starts just looking at it. Not doing anything in particular, not searching through it, just looking at it at the moment. And there's this real silence in the room at the moment, and no one really knows what to say or do, and it kind of settles, and you hear a noise in the other room. You hear Charles still going on, blabbering for a bit. And eventually that stops as well, and Frank kind of comes out, and he's very much just staring down, not knowing what to do, and he goes over towards Dan. "So did you find the other one?" "No. Couldn't find it. I looked everywhere, but I just found him down by the boats. He didn't even get into the water. He started, it looks like, and then he passed out, or I don't know what." "Yeah. Look, I'll stay up. I'll stay watch. I don't feel good knowing there's still something out there. So I'll stay watching." "Alright. Sure."
I can go and watch too if you need someone.
"Yeah, sounds good. Alright, killer." He says, "Alright, killer." And he opens the door and kind of steps back outside onto the balcony outside here. And he just takes a seat on one of the chairs outside. It's still a little damp at this point, but the rain has stopped. It's cloudy outside, you can't really see all that much, and the sun is really starting to go at this point. It's getting pretty dark. But there is still light from inside from the fire, and they leave the curtain open just a tiny bit so that you still get a little bit of light from that. But at the moment, while you're out there, you can't really see. You can't be on watch so much, but what you're doing is just listening.
No, my character's dark vision.
Oh, does it? Oh, well, okay. Yes, I forgot you were a tiefling. Yeah. You just hide your horns very well.
Oh yeah, I just...
Yeah, of course. Okay, and...
Wait, so am I out there? I'm out there with them, right?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, and it's relatively quiet. He doesn't bring up any kind of conversation. He just sits there just with his bat, just kind of like knocking it from one hand to the other. And it will stay silent unless you wish to interject at any one point.
Man, I'm not in the mood to small talk or anything. Am I? I don't know.
What about big talk?
Skyscrapers. I love skyscrapers.
Mountains, motherfucking mountain.
Honestly, I'd be talking about space and everything.
Yeah,
And
planets,
philosophy,
man.
life. It's
Shit.
Did you know, Holly?
Not too well. She seemed nice.
She did.
Definitely the better of the two.
She was coming over to talk to me, I think.
Yeah, she's good like that. Kind of a mum to a lot of people here.
Yeah.
They haven't done a lot of this. Most of them, they've been on the water since the start. They haven't been face to face with those things. They haven't had to kill. They're still people. They still look like us. They still sound like us.
Yeah. I just feel really guilty because I can't help but think if I had maybe...
Nah, you can't think like that. Hey, if you hadn't have shot them, they would have got to them. If you weren't there, if it didn't see you, who knows, it could have got in there. If they got in there, then that's bad. They don't have a lot of weapons in there. Like I said, they haven't been close to them. They don't know how to fight them. They haven't had to. You'll be good. It all gets a little easier over time. Don't know if that's a good thing,
Yeah.
but it gets a little easier.
Guess that's some consolation.
Someone's got to do it.
I don't know, maybe we make small talk the rest of the night, but probably not. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like there is like a comfort in that silence for a while, you know?
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's he doesn't feel like there's a need for small talk, but there's like a sense of, respect there. And thankfully, this goes by pretty quick. That was the Netflix sound. I don't know where Netflix came from then, but apparently Netflix, someone is streaming Netflix on their phone in the room. It's playing a chart. It's just like, I fucking love Dirty Money. It's an amazing documentary. Have you seen it? I'm not plugging Dirty Money. I have literally zero idea where that came from. And so the night does go by. No one watching Netflix. It's
Fucking terrible timing!
I know. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. No, it goes by, and there is still tension there. There is still tension, but at the same time, there is a moment of peace. The waves aren't clashing the same way they were before, and everyone inside goes to sleep, weirdly feeling a little bit safer, even though they've just lost one of their own. And eventually you start to feel tired and you start to drift off ever so slowly. Can you roll a willpower check for me to see if you can stay awake? I'm going to give you a -20 to that because it's been a long day.
I'm gonna use one of your last 2
You have to
sigils.
beat a 10. Okay. Is this gonna be like the last session for tonight?
No,
Maybe.
very well. You never know. You never know. Life is all about risks. Sometimes you got to roll the dice.
Well, here's the thing. It would be ridiculous to assume that me and Dan are going to be on watch the whole night. So if I feel myself getting that tired, I go inside, I get Frank or something to take over.
But before you can do that, you have to pass this roll.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, but like, when I feel myself starting
This
to
is
get
about
tired.
getting.
That's why you were doing this roll.
It's that quick?
You had
Yes.
a huge adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
It's out of your system.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the thing. It's like if you really want to fight it, you can use a sigil to try and stay awake here. But that's completely up to you. You have.
I know myself. I don't try to fight that hard.
Okay,
It's
okay.
like-
All right,
Have you seen
okay.
me playing Sealand?
Yes, I have. As have we all. Okay.
And 2 shy of your lucky number.
So close, so close. Okay, but yeah, as you are there, the darkness starts to come around you, and eventually you do start to feel yourself slip slightly. You're doing a bit of nodding for a little bit, and then it just overtakes you,
Sure.
and you fall asleep. And you remember everything that's happened so far. You remember a cornfield, and you remember a boy that was sick. And you remember everything else that's happened so far, everything that's led you up until that point, and you remember that thing being right there in front of your face. You get flashes back to the rock, Jake standing there, trying to contemplate what he was going to do. Was he going to have this woman lose her arm? Was he going to be able to chop this little girl's arm off? Everything that you've been through kind of weighs upon you in these dreams.
So did you.
You remember the kid during the escape. You remember all the kids during the escape. The kids that might still be there now. Everyone that was left behind. And with that, light does eventually hit your eyes, and you open, and sitting across from you is Dan.
Is he awake or asleep?
Yeah, he's awake, and he's looking at you, and he's looking a little bit more dark around the eyes.
Oh, did he stay up all night?
Morning.
Hey. Sorry, I must have dozed off.
Hey, you had a hard day. That's all good.
Did you stay up?
Yeah,
Well,
I worked nights before this.
get inside and get some sleep then, yeah?
Okay, I'm just seeing you trying to master the art of moving your hairline up and down. The things we do. Welcome to Zealand again. Yeah. That's one of your specialities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
Diplomacy.
A
Speciality.
plus, A plus.
Yeah,
Move
I
all
just-
hairline.
Get inside, get some rest then.
Gonna have a look around. See if anything came by last night.
No,
I didn't want to leave in the dark.
No, get inside.
Fine.
Look, if you've been up all night, your senses aren't at their
Take this.
best. I take the bet.
Save those bullets for when it's real bad.
Yep.
And he heads back inside. Okay. It's still pretty early at this point. Like, you can hear, like, as the door opens, you can hear a few... No, just snoring. Just snoring. But you do hear snoring from inside, and he kind of, like, dodges amongst the bodies and eventually finds somewhere to lay down. Try and have some sleep. That's just what you can see through this little slit in the door, and it's pretty quiet overall for the most part. And then someone comes from inside, sticking his head out the door.
Is it Frank?
No, it's not Frank.
Oh, Charles. Is it Charles?
No, it's not Charles.
You fucking lucky.
One moment, caller. There we go.
Right.
Does he look like
Always
that?
looking
He
confused.
always looks like that. He sticks his head through.
Confused.
Morning.
What happened last night?
Good morning. You're Brian, right? I don't think we've met.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys told me about you. Name's Chloe.
G'day.
Yeah, sure, I can't check him.
Look, you any good with plugs, sparks, electrics?
Do you plug?
Get
I
any plug?
want to make a really awful joke here, but I think maybe I shouldn't.
No, you can.
I know plugs, but maybe not the kind you're thinking of.
Jesus, a little early in the morning, Sheila. All right. Fuck me. Okay.
No, I'm not really that good with that sort of stuff. Sorry, man.
Do you mind watching my back? I'm gonna go out to the shed.
Of
You've
course,
got a bat, you know. I'm gonna go flick the power back on. It's
Sure.
been off for a long time, and yeah, we're gonna
Sure,
get back on. We never heard back from the others, so
Yeah.
we don't know what's happening there. Your friends, you didn't hear anything back from them either?
The radios we have only have a certain range. They must have gone out of it.
Bloody hell.
All working on it.
I didn't think the cable would go as long as it would, but
Yeah, well, I expect they probably stayed up too late and had to stay the night.
alright.
So they'll probably be back today, hopefully. If not, I'm not sure. But sure, yeah, sorry, I'm rambling. Yeah, I'll watch your back. It's fine.
Thank you.
Sorry. I have a tendency to ramble when I'm nervous.
Okay, and he does kind of take you around the back
Does he?
and to the generator shed. And you see him go in there, and he's only in there for a little while before you hear like a flick or two, and you actually do see a light pop on inside in here.
Oh, neat.
So you might be able to tell that there's been some form of power that's been turned back on.
Okay.
All right. You want breakfast?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay. All right.
Oh, this is really nice what's going on right now.
And so
How's the boat,
One more
Scott?
zombie running around.
I know, but let me have
And,
this moment.
he does go back inside, and
I follow him, yeah.
okay, cool. So everyone's kind of still asleep at this point. I need you to roll an athletics check for me, -10, to try and move among the bodies without stepping on anyone or waking anyone up. He's going to do the
Wait,
same.
they're like across like the entire floor?
Oh, they're all over the floors at
You've
this
also
point.
got a
There are a
broken
lot of
ankle.
people in here.
There's like 18 of them.
There's only there's quite a few
Sprained ankle.
there's quite a few
Sore
bu-
ankle.
quite a few bunks.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah, actually, that's a good question. Like, is my ankle still hurting?
Yeah, the whole station.
Well, I mean,
It's a significant
yeah,
wound to the
it's
whole
it,
session.
it's pretty sore. So you've still got like a limp to you, but you've gotten pretty used to walking with limps, and you're actually using your cast leg at the moment as like your leg to like
That's ironic.
weigh on, somewhat.
Okay. Oh, God. Fuck. Okay, I mean, can I just take my time with this? Like, I don't
Yeah,
move
you can go a little
quickly
slow.
yet.
You can go a
I
little slow.
Take
Let
my
you do that.
time so I get a bonus?
You do. Okay. All right.
Oh, well, I got a 1.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. All right.
Just 1.
Okay, so you very carefully make your way through, and as Brian's kind of walking across, you hear like a oh, shit, sorry, fuck, sorry, shit. And he makes his way over towards the kitchen and starts up some of the equipment in there.
Like, to be fair, he is Australian.
Being woken up to the sounds of food being made is preferable to being woken up by someone standing on you.
Or he could just go, oi, wake
Making
up.
breakfast.
We're making breakfast.
No, and you're not here.
Yeah, shy. You're not here.
I tell you, I go, oi, wake up, I'm making breakfast.
Okay, all right. And as you're making breakfast, as you're kind of like getting semi-ready here, we go back to the hole, folk. Don't worry.
So has anything happened during each of our watches?
No. The night went by not so bad for all of you.
Oh, not so bad as being so good.
Well, not so bad. I mean, like, you know, it was cold. You were all you had a pretty miserable sleep. I mean, the bivouac wasn't an amazing place to stay in. It was enough for the time being, but yeah, I mean, beyond that, it wasn't super amazing. And bam, we're going to go ahead and change our date That's the day. And the weather today is a haze. And there is a haze that's kind of surrounding the outside and the top of the island.
How appropriate.
No, yeah, it is morning and winter on the islands.
Yeah. Okay, and you get woken up. Day's here. Get up. Get up. He starts like
Get up.
shaking the bivouac.
Yeah.
Okay, you've had enough sleep, but it wasn't a good sleep. There was lots of like waking up and then going back to sleep and waking up and going back to sleep again. So it hasn't been great. But you also haven't heard anything from Kevin all night.
Alright.
None of you heard anything come through on his radio, and
Yeah. But then the
I
other
think you
chance
mentioned
we
it.
should probably should have tested it.
I'll ask him as well. Did Kevin say anything? Again, get to you?
no,
Did you see anything else? Anything near the winch?
no one's sneaking up during the night. Seemed to be perfectly fine.
What about the rope? Anyone fuck with that?
Did we leave the rope out? We pulled
was-
the
yeah, it
rope
was
up.
by-
Pull the rope up, burn rounds, and and he goes over, has a walk over to where the rope is, and no touching,
Alright.
as far as I can tell.
When you're down there, did you see any food?
Yeah, there's a bit there, but it's scarce. Like I'm talking maybe
What?
one small pack of rice, and just a few other basics. Not much at all. So,
Yeah.
sorry, I was going way too Australian there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's channeling Brian.
yes, I was chilling Brian a little bit there.
We gotta go check up on
So,
Kevin.
I know.
Let's get some breakfast going.
You did. Fuck.
All right.
Don't.
Sorry, Scott just realised he left the fish out.
I thought you put it all in the chiller.
Yeah,
Like
no,
an
you
open
put the
chiller.
big
Was it
one
a
in the
chiller?
chiller. You put the big one, well, like
Yeah,
yeah,
you said you put
yeah,
it in the chiller.
Oh god, okay. I thought he just put it
Is it
in
just a chili bin?
yeah. It's a chili bin where you kind of keep them until you put them in the fridge, because
And you-
like it's just so it's like quick, put it in the chili bin, and
Yeah,
then
it's winter.
But yeah, it's winter. You did it at night time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Towards the end,
Because that was a big
probably
fish.
wouldn't be too
Was.
bad.
That would have been a shame to lose.
yeah, it would have been.
But I mean, it's really no big deal because you can just catch more.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the ocean.
That was a very good roll though, Jake.
Alright,
Okay.
so yeah, we'll
Yeah.
go check on Kevin. Probably Jonah's the best person to go down, being the
Yep,
lightest.
yeah, okay.
And then obviously just if he can get food and bring it back up, and then
Yeah, let's eat.
Are you
and
okay
then-
with that, Nick?
Yep.
I would say after
Letting the old man go down? Cool. All right. Sweet.
Yep.
Just so we're all clear.
after letting the old man go down, I would say let's check out.
I'm not going down there.
Yeah, fuck that. Check out
No.
check out the trail. I mean, the thing is, we need to find the Russian before the Russian finds us, because at the moment we know he's on the island, but he might not be aware of us yet. And if
How do we know any of that?
there was 2 passports, we already found one Russian here, and he needs help to
You
get out of
found
that.
passports? Do you have the passports?
Not on me.
Can you describe the
No.
guy and
Oh fuck me.
bring
man.
him? No, Jonah, can you describe?
Yeah,
Nick,
I mean,
do you want to go down the hole and have a look at this guy to see if he's one of those people?
well, I can
Okay.
tell you if you let me describe what it looks like. If you want to go down, you can go down, or you can let me finish.
All right. Calm down.
Yeah, Scott, calm down.
Sorry, I thought you were actually going to do something for a second. Look, the guy was dark-skinned, looked like he might have been maybe like, would have been early 50s. Therein.
Okay, it's been a long time since we played it. You described the photos. And
Yeah.
the thing.
So just
would've
tell me
been like-
who's seen the pictures.
Oh,
just
yeah.
those
Me.
3.
Just
Both
me.
the
I saw the photos.
both the men in those photos were Caucasian. They seemed to be Eastern European.
Okay, so they
Okay.
weren't dark skinned.
No,
Not the guy.
definitely not.
However, he might not be one of the Russians. He still needs help to get out of that hole, which
Mate,
means.
the guy speaks Russian. I'm imagining he's a Russian.
Alright, the black Russian needs help from presumably the white Russians to get out of the hole. Someone needs to operate the winch, which means, and there's a trail there which looks fairly well worn. So someone is on the island,
Right.
and they haven't been back yet for him. But
Yeah.
if we fuck off back to camp and he comes and finds out that we've been here, he might disappear anywhere on the island and we'll never find him. But if we follow that trail now and find the fuckers, we find them before they find us.
Do you think it's best to follow the trail or just have a couple of people stay here and wait in ambush?
Look, if there's a trail, it's going to be easier to get back to home if that's where it goes. If it leads further in, we'll know pretty quick because it'll be going uphill most of the way. So we'll follow it for a little bit and then we'll just try and figure it out from there.
What he said.
Alright, so is someone going to stay with the Black Russian?
No, we're going to have to move him out of here. Kev's not going to leave him down there in a bloody hole to die.
Well, let's just tell Kevin we'll be back soon and we just go check it out.
How about you go check it out? I'll go down the hole. Someone needs to be up here to get me back out of here. And then me and that other person can get Kev out and then
How much more paracord do you have? We'll get some wood and make a bloody, what are they called? A stretcher. A thing.
Yep, can do. Can do. Look, there's a pretty lightweight bed down there. Might be able to try and bring that up. We could probably carry that between a few of the more fitter of you. But that's up to you. That's your prerogative. I'm not going to force you to do anything, but I'm going down this hole and getting a move on. If you want to follow the trail, follow the trail.
Nick, do you want to follow the trail with me while Jake and Jonah source this shit out?
Is the trail really the priority?
If there's other people there who,
If we're not going to do it as a group, then...
let's just check it out. I mean, we don't have to go knock on their doors.
Look, it's going to take a bit
to... alone, so...
Yeah, you're going to take a bit to get the fuck out of here.
What I'm saying is it could take a while.
It'll take a while for this.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, we have to... my opinion is we stay as a group, we don't split.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if this takes a wee while and that takes a wee while, then half the day's gone, and we have to still get back home with carrying a guy in a stretcher.
Jonah's walking up towards where the rope is currently.
Go for gold.
He dives in.
It's a little easier to get like a little bit of like a hold on the sides now. It's not as slippery. But he goes up there, he gets a rope, just while you're having this conversation.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like throw the rope down off the side and starts going back down. As you guys are having the conversation. So continue if you want.
We'll start down the trail. If it looks like it's going to be a while, then we'll just turn back.
I mean, like, let's give it a...
You got a radio, I can call you guys when we're...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll check in, like, I don't know, every 100 paces and so we don't accidentally go out of range and...
Do this.
Sounds good.
And when you're finished here, we'll turn back. Nick?
Sounds good, yeah.
Awesome.
Alright, cool. At this point, Jonah's at the bottom of the hole, and anyone that's around the hole sees him disappear off, heading up from the direction you're all in at the moment. And what do you do from here? Do you take on?
Take the trail, me and Nick.
Take the trail? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, both.
Quietly, cautiously keeping an eye out for anything.
Okay. Alright, you start to follow this trail up, and it does move away from the hole. And it seems, as far as you can tell,
Dun, dun, dun.
to be going through the bush for a decent while. You're walking for a good while, but you can see that this pathway, so to speak, you can actually see parts where like where there might be like roots or something like that. You can see that the roots have been burnt, like on either side.
You've been here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like kind of like you can see that they've been singed, and the same kind of like the width of it stays pretty much the same.
It's an easy trail to follow.
It's pretty easy for the most part. It does start to like go up in elevation in some places. It starts to raise up further and further as you're moving further through the bush.
Yeah, like every 100 paces, I just go on the radio, check.
Okay, and you are hearing these checks.
Just trying to remember, what gun did I have? I had the shotgun, I think, didn't I?
You had shotgun.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
he's got the thing to bullpup.
And a hatchet.
Yeah.
And a hatchet.
Yeah.
And guns.
Oh,
And then I have
yeah.
a knife and a...
I've got my
Shotgun.
machetes.
You have a pistol too, I'm pretty sure, don't you?
And I think I got
Yep.
crap from the toolbox I nicked.
Yeah.
Do you reply to my check?
Yeah, I check.
Okay, and you continue your checks as you move further into this pretty dense bush, but this path is pretty You're walking it. You're making it through what would usually be quite difficult to walk through. You're making much better time than when you were walking along the cable.
Do we see any wheel tracks?
No wheel tracks.
Even
no.
like thin wheel tracks or anything on the sides, on the very edges or anything. Nothing like. There's no groove.
Doesn't seem like it.
Flat.
Just flat. Yeah. Just flat. You're
quite
sensing
uniform.
it's pretty much all a downward gradient that you're going down at the moment. Yeah.
I just asked Nick, dude, what do you think?
Well, a downward gradient to the hole. You're walking up at this
yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, I just go, Nick, what do you think?
Well,
Like a sled or that's all I can really
Yeah,
think
I
of.
was
It's
thinking
moving.
that, but a sled would normally have tracks of some sort, so
Yeah,
it's going to be like a
that's what I'm
flat
thinking.
sheet of metal, or so it's the only thing I can think of, like
Barrels?
Yeah, I
Barrels?
was thinking that.
Didn't they say there were
did-
barrels in the hole? So they're
Yeah.
bringing barrels from the top of the mountain to the hole?
Not the other way.
Or
Fuck, going the other way would be tough.
how
Interesting.
so how wide is it
Don't
again?
know.
Does it
Yeah,
look
how
like it's like
wide
a
is
good
it?
like
It's about
oil
about-
barrel wide?
You think? Maybe.
Might-
Yeah. Could be about that width. Thereabouts.
Maybe
Well, turns out.
maybe they're rolling barrels down.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong style. If they come, we just jump over them and get points.
It's
Yeah.
at this point that it starts to increase in gradient quite a bit as it's going up. What is the other side of this kind of valley that you're all
You
in?
couldn't roll barrels down our path. It would, like, all we need to do is just hit one rock and it goes off wildly to the side.
If you're careful.
Not if you're controlling it.
It seems a lot of
You're not
work.
there.
It does in long run.
You guys talk during our scenes.
To each other.
Still.
How
Continue
far do
forward.
you will go? Because you're still doing radio
Until-
checks. I'll tell you if the radio checks don't go through.
Until the radio checks, until I stop hearing from Jake, or Jake says, "We're done, come back," and then
Pretty
I
much.
might say, "Oh, mate, you're breaking up."
If we don't get a response
Going through
when we
Okay,
when
just to
we
let you know,
message the
you're all
road,
moving
yes, we turn around.
quite quick for the most part. You're both uninjured. You're both moving with speed along this path. I knew you were taking it cautiously at first, but it all depends how quickly you want to move. You're moving towards what you think is the top of this path, so to speak, that you've been following.
And like a decent pace, man. At least walking pace, because I mean that's still
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I can check the left side in front. You can take the right side and behind. So
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. It is at this point.
still radioing in.
Still radioing in?
every
Okay.
100 odd paces.
Okay, it's at this point you do find it intersects another kind of like another path that's ahead of you. Although this is a little different in that where they join, the one that continues up from this point here is a lot thinner. Is a lot thinner. More like human foot traffic. Kind of size. Like it kind of like just winds in until it's just human foot traffic side.
And then one going down.
And the one going down is the same kind of width to what you'd expect this one was. It's about the same as far as you can tell.
And
It
there's
seems
no
to be
clearing or
similar.
Hold on,
buildings.
give me a sec.
Any clearing at the or a building or a shack? Any more tarpaulins?
No, as far as you can see, this is a little wider at where they kind of seem to intersect. And on this path, this one that you can see here, you can see what looks a little bit more like tread, as in like tread marks
Of like a car.
of not a
wheel-
car,
tires.
but something. Yeah, tires. Yeah, something a little bit tighter than a
Like a quad
Like-
bike
Yeah,
type.
quad.
potentially.
So they are quadding. And like the trains,
And
they
it-
seem to go down, not the way we came, but down like the left-hand side
And it's
downhill.
a pair. It's not just one.
So
line.
so you've been following this trail.
Yeah.
There is what looks to be like a foot trail that goes up from
Go
here,
right.
and there is
left.
what looks to be like a tread trail which is going down, which seems to be going downhill.
So they're either bringing the barrels up here by hand and then taking them down and by quads and probably trailers, or they're bringing them up from the water
Well, yeah, and then
and
rolling,
then rolling
them
them down here.
to the home.
However,
And,
since there's
and walking off up the hill somewhere.
but that means that's probably where like their shack is.
Yeah.
They'll need a place on the island to stay, which means right.
Okay. You turn right and you start walking along this trail. It's a little bit more difficult because it's not as wide, but it doesn't take you too long to make a little bit of progress. You're feeling a little bit more out of breath at this point.
Nick, since you've got a shotgun, want to take points on this?
I'll take point, yeah.
Okay. It's at this, as you're walking along for a while, walking along what seems to be this foot track trail, eventually you see what looks to be a wooden sign, which is pointing ahead of you, and there appears to be some writing on it.
Cyrillic?
No,
English?
English. I was going to say human or common.
Common!
I've been playing too much D&D, I swear. It's no, it's too...
It's 2 games.
It's funny.
No. English. Yes.
And it says...
And it says summit track, and then it's got kilometers on it. I can't quote you on how many kilometers it is. I don't know specifically how far, but it does say summit track. And it's embedded like in the wood, and it's like painted. It looks like a legit sign, as far as you can tell.
Do you know if there's any... Well, this is to Skull. Do you know if there's any, like, famous lookouts or anything at the top?
Not from here. I mean, Little Barrier is a washroom court. It's not a scenic reserve. It's a scientific reserve. So I mean, like this. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea if you can book stuff up here, but mostly this is off limits to the public. So this could be It does look like a very old sign.
It looks like it's been here for a while. There is like
not just like years. This looks like decades old.
You'd say so.
Older than I am.
No, not older than you are.
But I mean, like
no.
that's what I mean. Like this is like looking like 20, 30 years or.
Not that old. No, you'd say maybe half that amount of time. It's been here for a while, long enough for like a little bit of like moss and stuff to start growing on it. But yeah,
it's quite withered, I would assume.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't look like it was put up yesterday.
Okay, the thing for me is like if this looks like a legit track, which means the Russians might have just co-opted a track for their own uses, which means going up here may get us somewhere, but might not.
Yeah, it's pretty hit and miss.
But we do. But we can. Roll the dice. I would say there's probably better evidence downhill.
With the quad tracks, yeah.
Yeah.
What I assume. Yep. This could be either or. Yeah. Whereas that way, I think there is almost certainly something.
Yeah, let's head that down there. Is my check still checks?
Checks are coming through. It's a little more staticky than before, but it's not too bad. You're up quite high at this point where you're transmitting from.
Yep.
Let's have a quick look down there, and we can turn back. If there is a definite endpoint, it's the ocean, so we don't see anything there. We'll just head back. We can always come around by boat.
And you start walking down this wider trail.
Yep.
While that's all happening, Jake, you're waiting for them down there.
Be having a look, just looking around.
Okay, there's literally nothing to see up the top here. You've looked at this hole a million different ways.
I mean, it's like keeping watch, not focusing down there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's lots of your own footprints all over the place, just like and slip and slides where the gum bit went in. There's just like tracks everywhere, essentially. And it is some time. It's about like it's a good hour before you do hear a voice down there. All right, you up there?
Yeah.
What was that? It sounded like a wet fish slapping.
Scott.
Anyway, Nick.
Mine.
Yeah.
Probably my keyboard.
Okay, all right. Wet fish slapping. So yes, you see Jonah at the bottom, calls up to you. Ropes down?
Yeah.
Okay, it's still down. Okay, all right. You reckon you're going to be able to give me an assist?
Yeah.
All right.
Just you, right?
Just me for now.
All right.
The others are coming down now.
Pulling.
Okay.
That's my pulling action.
All right. So you start pulling. I need you to roll strength. This is going to be might. I'm going to keep on doing it. It's like it's like the old investigate and scavenge. It's just for some reason programmed in my mind.
Fail.
Okay.
Do you not have a bonus for that?
No, it's just flat at this point.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you start to pull them up.
Hang on, wouldn't carrying?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Your speciality.
Carry, though, isn't it?
Nope, you get right on your number. Oh, really? 56, 56. Oh, sure.
Okay, well, on that point, you also
Hey.
get a automatic
one.
point to carry. You've got 2, haven't you?
Yeah, your
This
old
session so far?
intuition
Yeah.
on...
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
doing
intuition
okay.
is auto, and then
doing
carry is auto.
And you said it's still only 1 point. It's not double because it's spec air.
No, it's double. It's actually quadruple.
No, like I think
No,
it's
it's-
written in there. I think you just get 1 still.
He was being sarcastic.
I don't like
Anyway,
those rules.
We'll check
Um,
out.
I don't like those rules.
okay.
I think you should get 5.
Anyway, okay, all right. So you did feel like it was slipping for a second, but you're fine. You're fine. You're like,
I'm like, oh wait, I can carry stuff.
You're
That's
right. You're right. Yeah, you're like, no, wait. I'm.
Isn't this more of a carry check?
Yeah, you're wait. I'm the Lionheart. I'm carrying the party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
all
not
right.
get too carried away.
And you're pulling. You know, you got your muscles bulging, and yeah, you
Veins
pull
are
up the.
showing, I guess.
It's like the scene on Predator when they're pulling down the
Yeah.
the rope pulling down the trees. And it's like
Yes,
Yeah.
it's all bulging at this moment. Yeah, and no, you managed to kind of get him up over the edge, and he kind of gets his hand out, and you kind of managed to get, get on the collar and kind of pull him up like a kitten. Put him on the side. He's like, "Cheers, mate." And it takes a moment or two before you see Kevin appear, looking up again, with a lot of blood on him still, looking up towards you. All right, I've got him. I'm going to try and tie him on if you drop him down.
all right, hold up. We're just gonna. What I want to do is get some, because I don't want to bring in this guy who's been shot and dragging him across the side of it. So I want to get some sort of wood or timber or something that I can put out. So then, not too far over the hole, just out. So
Okay.
it's coming up there, not along the rock face.
Okay. All right. You going to go and try and find something?
Can't you just do what you did with Jonah that one?
Yeah, but he's got a bullet wound. I don't want him dragging across the side because when it's the rock, the hole's there, and the rope's just going to go right down the side of it. It doesn't go out at all, and so it's just pulling up against the rock face.
Okay.
All right. Well, I want you to climb back up out of there, roll investigate, and see what you can find.
Yeah, no, there's nothing.
Oh no, Jake used my dice. He should use his dice.
Oh, I see.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, yeah, fair.
You don't find anything that's going to be long enough to make it over the hole, or that would be strong enough. You do find some things that might be long enough, but they're dead wood, and yeah, it looks like they're probably going to break.
It's a solid show, though. Couldn't he use the show to...
It was a really good show.
What? Sorry, I saw my chance. I had to take it.
Okay.
Well, if I can't find anything, we'll just have to be gentle once
I-
he gets up.
I don't see any other way we're going to be able to do this. This isn't going to be easy. If we have the winch, we can use that, but if it's not working, then we're going to have to do
It's
this.
out of order, yeah. Let's just do it, and we'll be as careful as possible.
Okay.
Out of order, Skulk.
All right.
Like Skulk actually put like an out of order sign. It's like, hold up, that's Skulk's handwriting.
Okay. All right.
But put like all the R's backwards and stuff. See, it's Russian.
Yes.
Okay, the rope does come down, and Kevin starts to attach it onto this man's suit itself, which seems to actually be pretty securely on him. He kind of ties it like around him. He kind of overdoes it almost to a point of like making sure that this guy's like tied around like here. He goes under, trying to tie as much as he can with the excess that's there, and in the end, you have like this whole like slack body being held on by this thing, and you can kind of see a little bit more of this man at the moment. He does still have his looks to be like a blue clean suit on that's zipped open at the front, and there is a whole heap of padding there that seems to be red. It's like white padding.
So just before we start pulling that out on the radio, we're going to go, we're pulling them up.
Okay.
So I forgot to do that when Jonah was.
And you hear this, both of you hear this as you are still going down path at the moment.
Can we see this ocean by now through this fairly wide trail?
You can start to see like little bits of it, like through the trees at the moment. You can kind of start to make it out, yeah.
I mean,
Because you're quite high up as well. So it's just that the trees are quite high, because this is all virgin forest. It has never been cut, so it's all.
well, except for this trail.
Well, yes, okay. It's not a direct route the whole way down, so yeah.
It'll take us what, quarter of an hour, mate, max, just to hit the ocean. To come all the way back, it's gonna
With
get like what,
speed?
3-4 hours.
Well,
back from base camp.
it's-
I say
it would-
to Nick.
It would take a while.
We can just
Yeah,
do
I mean,
50
we've come
minutes.
this far, so
Yeah, let's just have a quick look and then we'll turn back.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say we're going to go back now. So, Jake, we're on our way back.
Go with it.
Okay. All right, you start to move with speed down the track.
Well, a little bit more speed. I still don't want to get ambushed and shit
Yeah.
by some Russians.
Of course, well, you got Nick on point.
Or anyone else.
Okay, I need you to roll your carrying for me. And I'm going to give you seeing as you did this before, because you've got a little bit more of a better position and
Jonah helping?
And Jonah is helping you as well, I'm going to give you a plus 30 to that.
So, 86.
Whoa.
Oh, that's actually it's a good pass as well.
It's a huge pass. 80.
Okay, all right. So again, like Jonah's more giving you an anchor more than anything, and you are like pulling it up here. But as you're pulling it up, you are noticing that the rope is starting to fray slightly on the edge. Not enough to like really make you go shit, but you're feeling the heat of the rope from the friction of pulling it up, and you're thinking, probably not going to be able to do this too many times more, and have it be safe.
I relay that information.
As long as it gets him out of there, we'll be happy.
When we get Kevin out, we'll add at least the top area
Okay.
with some grass or wood or trees.
Okay, and
Poultry.
this man is up against the edge, so essentially he's kind of like it's kind of like pulling up from the back of here on him. Obviously not pulling around his neck; it's pulling up underneath his arms and going up towards you from that point. So it's essentially that last little push. Jonah does come help you pull him up and over the edge, and it's the first time you actually get a good look at this man. And you are also going to see a name. You don't know his name at this point, though. I'll just say it at this. Actually, you know what? You will, because he does have it on his
Name tag?
internal
Is his
thing.
name Iago?
No.
I don't know. I just think of him as an Iago. Von Frankenstein?
You see a small little name tag that says Victor.
Is it in English or Cyrillic?
This one's in English.
Well, Roman.
Yes. Yeah.
What?
There is no English alphabet. It's the Roman alphabet.
Oh my god. You know what I fucking
Anyway,
mean. It's in common.
So
It's in
this
common.
is the man that you see as you kind of pull him up over the edge, and he is very much like out cold at this moment, and you can see that there is a sizable wound, and you kind of catch a glimpse of it underneath the padding that's being like wrapped around as best as Kevin can do there, but you can see that there is still a lot of blood, and you actually do get it because like as you kind of like pulling him up, you feel it on the back as well.
Oh.
And there's a decent kind of like redness there. And Jonah is like looking at him like with like a bit of like he it's almost like the look in his eyes like he almost feels like he's already killed this man in a sense.
Well, he has.
And you start to untie him as you kind of like pull him up, getting him as safe as you can towards the edge of the hole, down kind of cable side actually. And at that point, taking the rope off, drop it back down for Kevin.
Yeah, I was going to get some wood. Doesn't really matter now because it's not going over it. It's just going to go over where it's sitting, so it's not ripping across
The rocks.
the rock.
Okay.
So it's
Something
really.
else to okay, all right, okay. It's not too difficult to find something like that. You don't need it to be structurally sound. You find something and drop it down. Start pulling Kevin back up. Same thing. I'm going to give you a plus 30 to your roll. Okay, all right. So Kevin is definitely the heaviest person that you've brought up yet, even heavier than this guy. He was more difficult because he's dead weight, but no, you do manage to kind of get him up, and as he kind of gets up close to the top, he does help kind of like pull himself up and out of there.
Wait, we didn't get the bed up there, did we?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I'm going to go find some stuff to make a stretcher.
Okay. All right, yeah, so he gets up over the edge and happy to be out of there for now.
Let's get a stretcher together. Let's just tie him up a little bit so if he wakes up, he's not going to hurt us, but also not himself.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You can see that he looks really tired.
Like he didn't sleep all night.
Like he didn't sleep all night, yeah. Yeah.
You can use the fluffy handcuffs right now.
Okay, so it's going to take a little bit of time for you to start to put together a stretcher.
Well, we're waiting for these guys to get back anyway.
Yeah.
We're on our way, mate.
Yeah, you're on your way.
I believe you.
And it's with that we return
This is why I don't trust you, okay?
to our...
You trust me? You know I'm on my way.
You're on your way to somewhere else.
You don't know that.
We return to our intrepid travelers, making their way down this trail. And following this trail, you do see some more signs along the way, saying summit track and a shorter amount of a longer amount of distance. A longer amount of distance.
Yeah, you've been moonwalking the entire way.
But it's not too difficult of a track to walk. And you continue down, and you do see in some areas the tread is quite deep, in that there's like puddles of water in it, where it's already like kind of gone in type thing. And I'm saying tread because like there's two sets of tread on either side.
Yep.
That's why I'm making wavy motions, just so you know.
Not dolphins.
Yeah.
It's not dolphins. Not dolphins.
Could be.
Okay. All right, and this does continue on, and eventually you see the trees starting to part a little bit as the ground starts to level out, and you can see a somewhat familiar area. You can see some buildings off in the distance, and I need both you and Nick to roll investigation checks for me. Well, I mean, yeah, you are looking for things, so it's going to be an investigation check, and
Any bonuses?
it's going to
Fail.
be a plus 20 to both of you.
Fail.
34 pass.
Okay, all right. So as you're moving down, like Nick is trying to keep point. He's got the shotgun out. He's trying to keep a lookout in front. And similar to how you found the winch, it's the flapping of something that catches your ear. That sounds like flapping plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of look and try and follow the sound to a degree, hearing it. Maybe Nick decides to.
Well, I go, "Oi, Nick, there's something here."
Okay.
Okay, I follow. I look.
Okay, and you see a familiar style of camouflage. Same kind of tarp that you've seen before.
Okay.
And it seems to be over something that's much larger than the winch. And similar to the winch, it is also kind of like weighed down with stones, and it has some old ferns which are laid over the top of it.
$10 says it's a quad.
Probably, yeah.
Let's have a look.
Okay. You
Let's do
remove
it.
the stones, flicking off the tarpaulin. There is a quad.
Oh, snap. Keys. I look for keys. Let's look for keys, mate.
Okay. We look around, I guess, probably... I'm assuming it has mud flaps and the like.
Yeah, check out the mud flaps. Check,
Yeah.
like, if the seat can, like, open for, like, a compartment.
You look as best as you can, and you see nothing.
Did you check
No
the ignition?
keys. No keys. You check the ignition. No keys.
Are there any buildings nearby?
Yes,
Like-
there are. So looking across here, you can see your buildings. You can see the boat shed, the tool shed, and the kayaks.
And the shed with all those other barrels in it with Russian writing on them.
Yes.
Did you see any, like, are there any keys for this sort of shit somewhere in the, in all the buildings down there?
Not that I remember.
All right.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I take it the walkie, I'm like, radio to base. Do we?
You hear that? You hear that? No, you don't hear that. I'm sorry.
I'm like,
You don't hear
You-
anything.
You are
fucking out.
gone.
Do I hear that?
Yeah, you hear that. So it's as you're in there with you're having breakfast. At this point, others are actually like awake and having something to eat.
Okay.
And then
Does he hear this?
In the nice sweet spot
Well,
in between.
are you still in?
can't,
Are you still
because
in and
if
around the?
We can't hear
Yeah.
Jay.
But he's not where you are.
He's very close.
We're very fucking close.
Yeah,
Well,
like
exactly.
Yeah, we are real close.
You haven't. You're still in the same place, right? No one's
wait.
left.
No, we're waiting.
Okay, so
If-
no.
Okay,
No,
are
I'm
they
here.
kind of closer to a tower enclosure? So that's like further than I am to you. So like, like you definitely can't.
That's why.
Well, no, I'll say, and no, you can't. So yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
That just makes
I
sense.
repeat again, right into base.
Oh, hey, Skull.
Are there any motorcycle keys in there somewhere? Can you have a look?
In where? In
The bunkhouses or somewhere?
You see everyone kind of like exhale and sigh, like a bit of relief.
I guess I can check. Where are you guys? Is everything all right? We haven't heard from you guys for like all yesterday night and all today. Like it's been hours.
Yeah, we're fine. Can you have a look for those motorcycle keys, mate?
Like Frank's there across the room, and he's like,
Fucking skim over that one.
Yeah, like fuck.
Like, are you guys on your way back? Like, I mean, like, sure, I can look, but like, are you guys on your way back? What's going on?
Well, we found a motorcycle, so if we could grab some keys, I mean, it'll make life easier.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm looking, but like, what's going on? Where's Jake and the others, and Nick and Kevin and stuff?
Oh, they're busy. So motorcycle keys?
I'm looking, Skull. Can you tell me what's going on?
"Welcome to talking to Chloe on the comms."
I mean,
It's a reasonable question. It's
I'm
a reasonable
looking,
question.
but it's like I've like, what the fuck is going on?
Just to let me know, you haven't moved out of the building at the stage yet, right?
I guess like I would like ask Frank like, hey, are there any quad bike?
And he was
keys?
like,
First of all.
"Yeah, no,
No.
we haven't found any yet. We haven't checked all the buildings.
Well,
Only thing that we haven't checked properly is the one that was locked up before, the one that Kev said was poisonous."
oh right, yeah. Well, I think the other guys checked there anyway. I'm gonna go check the bunk room we were in. So Skulk, how about how everyone's doing while I find you these keys?
Oh, mate, it's a long story. We'll tell you when we get back to base.
Is everyone fine?
Yes.
Oh,
Bit of a pause.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Well, I mean, the pause was a pause.
Fine. He's being really defensive and cagey.
No, the thing was like the yup was like quite quick. If he tried to come up with like an elaborate response, it would be deception. But because it's just such a quick like, yup, like you read into it what you will.
I noticed that he's just being cagey and defensive and not answering me.
Yeah,
really
Totally,
at all.
like that's what you just heard. So that's what you think.
Well, I mean, like,
I
is
did
anyone
sentence a woman to death.
is anyone else with you?
I did not keep it down while you were in the throat. Yeah, they're just busy, mate. I'm just looking at a motorcycle right now, and it doesn't have any keys on it.
Okay, I'm looking for the keys. Can you stop being rude, please?
How long has it been for us? We will try radio in.
Looking at you,
It
Nick.
hasn't been as long, but yeah, I mean, you can try and radio in.
Does the thing have a trailer
As you're
or
going?
anything on it? Like
It doesn't. No trailer.
I look in the other house.
Well,
Any keys?
I tell him, like, well, if Chloe finds keys, we'll have to walk down there anyway. So let's just follow this trail, see if it
This
leads
guy.
to somewhere else that maybe the next clue.
Okay.
So because
All
we
right.
have to walk down
This trail comes out here, and like this is what you're seeing at the moment. So you see a sign that says Summit Track Trail, and it's got the full amount of kilometers,
and what
which I kind of can tell you. If you give me 1 second.
it's not the end of the world, mate.
Oh, it comes out here. It comes
Yeah, it's
actually
at the
around the
Tuatara.
back of the Tuatara conclusion.
Okay,
I lied.
okay, let's just have a quick look while Chloe looks down somewhere else. We're just at the. We'll look.
Yeah,
around here.
you come out quite close to home then. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so you're close to the Tuatara enclosure. You can also see that building. You know that off to the left-hand side of this is the bunks, and you also know, Skulk, that the bodies are in between those two places as well.
Let's have a quick look at the Tuatara place.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
I don't think it's important we get the keys now. It'd be nice to get them, but
yeah, but it's like if we could, it'll make
Taking them,
our
'cause
life
I'll be-
easier going up, and we can get
I know. I
that
get that.
Black Russian back here quicker. And if they do want to save his life, I mean, it'll take all about 10 minutes to get his ass back on the quad.
Well, we can't. Don't. Yeah. Yes, but don't. We shouldn't spend too much time doing
I
it.
know, that's what I'm saying. Let's just have a look at Tuatara.
Just to let you know,
Yeah.
you have actually spent quite a bit of time talking about doing this.
If
Just to give you an idea of like the time because I know we're arguing about time spent. You've spent quite a bit of time just standing talking about it. Just so you're both aware, because I know
surely it was
you
the
kind of lose
exact
track
amount
of time.
that I said that sentence in.
No, it's the exact
Right?
amount of time that you've been here talking to Chloe on the comms.
So we would have been
and
walking
the
down
rest.
while
Yeah, I
talking.
know.
Like I said,
I know
they just
that.
Okay.
find the end
Yeah.
of the trail and then when I
Yeah.
said let's have a look, we could probably talk.
Just
while
to make you aware,
walking.
because I know
Yeah.
the trickle of time isn't always easy to detect.
Yeah,
and
so
Do I find
Yeah.
any keys? in
where did you
the
look
house?
for keys?
The house.
You've already looked for. You've turned the house
Did you say we're
upside
going to go
down.
to the poison shed when Frank
It's
said the
locked
poison
up.
shed?
No, Chloe.
No.
Chloe said she was going to go to the bunkhouse.
Ah,
Yeah.
Plus, it's all locked up.
I mean, like,
I have the keys.
clang clang, not fucking cars.
Eight
I'm not
seconds.
walking to any poison sheds from this thing.
If
Do
it's
you want
taking
me
too
to-
long, would probably me and Kevin would go. Okay, fuck it. We're going to get this guy back to the nurse. And Jonah, could you go follow the track and see where they went?
Okay. So.
Or
You
come back
because you've been calling and you
Yeah.
haven't got anything back
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
comms.
So after like 5-10 minutes of that, I'll be like, well, they're out of signal area. This guy's bleeding out. We need to get him back.
Yeah, and what if they're bleeding out?
And then what? We just leave this guy here and go get them.
Look.
If one of us go.
What do you want to do, Kev? I don't know what I want to do now. I want to get this guy back. I want to get back to everyone else. We take him for now. We take him between us. We go. If we hear anything, if we see anything, if we can get to higher ground, make a call, we might be able to get through to them.
It's all downhill, isn't it, from here?
Yep.
Yeah, it's downhill, but it's thick bush.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy
We'll
to
keep
make it.
trying. I mean, Jonah, if you want to go to follow the trail, maybe take the rope, just in case they fell off the cliff or something. I don't know.
All right.
It's dense bush. They could just be out of range. We don't know. But
Okay.
this guy is bleeding out. He
I'll
does
go.
need attention.
All right, I'll go as fast as I can. Look, I've got my radio. I'll call you, Kev. As soon as I know something, I'll call through. Try not to stay too low level. The higher you get, the further your signal's going to travel.
Yeah.
It's going to be easier for me to get you. If you keep on going through, you know what you're doing.
And he starts to take off.
I tell Nick, I was like, yeah, man, we can do a further investigation later on. I mean, like, the time we're spending here is quite cutting into the time it would have helped on the bike. Let's just double time it back. I mean, we're already here, but I mean,
You
let's trail back.
also did tell me that you guys were walking towards the place at this point. You said you were walking
Yeah.
and talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Where were you walking to?
Yeah.
to the Tuatara. Once we got there, I said, "Look, let's just check this end of the Tuatara
Yeah.
enclosure for a key."
Okay.
And so, like, we're wasting more time than the bike will save us.
I assume I don't
Yeah.
find the keys
That's
to
what
So
I
the
was
let's-
meaning
house.
before.
We can,
No,
let's
like
run
I
it
said,
back.
you've turned the house upside down
Okay.
before.
Okay,
Like,
so
because you've spent
Yep.
that entire day in it. You guys, like, cut open the bed and stuff like that.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, yeah, we'll run it back. It's going to be quicker up this trail than trying to follow the cable again. We could probably make it
Yep.
back to them on the way back, on
Yep.
their way back.
okay. All right. So you take up off the trail. I need both you, Nick, and Skulk to roll athletics checks for me. I'm going to give you. You're still.
Pass.
You took your time, so I'm going to give you plus 20 to that.
Failed by 3.
Okay.
Give Nick the radio, he can run ahead.
What was your roll, Nick?
Past 19.
Past 19. Okay. All right. Nick's got a. He's taking a lead with the shotgun at the moment.
No surprise.
You know, you feel like a little bit more out of breath by the time that you actually start to make it further up the hill itself. But by the time that you get further up there, is anyone making calls during any of this?
I would just go check. Once again, 100 paces, check.
I
Yeah.
saw the
Okay.
edit, do I?
Okay, you do, and eventually, Jake, you hear the chick come
As soon as that
through
happens,
well.
then I'm like, where are you guys?
On our way back.
We've already started walking back. We sent Jonah after you. This guy's bleeding out. We need to get him help.
We'll catch up.
Okay.
Okay,
Copy that.
that's all the information that you guys give each
Go
other.
with it?
Unfortunately.
Okay, all right. So, so at this point, you both keep running for a while, and eventually you, as you're running, both of you roll perception for me, and this is going to be a plus 10 to both of you as you're making your way up the track quickly.
Past
Oh.
29.
Fail.
Okay. As you're kind of like running along, running like back up the track, you see a glint of light ahead of you, like a glint, like directly ahead of you.
How far ahead is Nick from me?
Like he's about like maybe half the length of the room ahead of you.
I just yelled, Nick, drop, and I jump sideways into the bushes.
Okay, all right.
And I drop.
You drop, go sideways into the bushes, and then there's like silence. Some birds get disturbed and fly away. You can come out.
You did the right thing.
I was like,
It's still funny, but you did the right thing.
right thing.
It's like, just saying, Nick.
Yeah.
I got that right.
Yeah, you, that was good.
And you see him coming down the trail, like towards you, and you see Jonah there. He's a little bit out of breath.
Well, us two, me, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've taken off. They didn't take the bloody trail. They're going through the woods.
Well, unless you want to go back and find them this way, it's like, what, all of 5 minutes back down to the beach.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go that way. I'm with you.
Okay.
There's no one behind me. I can tell you that much.
Okay, this way back here, there's like a quad halfway down, no keys. The track ends just at the end of the Tuatara pit, which means unless they're up that narrow walking trail you passed by on your way here, they could be literally fucking anywhere on this island with a quad.
Yeah.
Because once you get to Tuatara, it's an open area, so they could be anywhere on this island.
Alright.
I mean, my guess was wrong. I thought they'd be at the end of the trail, so unless you're at the summit, they're anywhere.
Alright. Okay. Well, let's get back for now. That's the main thing, and we'll see if we can catch up with them.
Okay.
If they're going to be following the cable, we can at least meet them halfway. We're probably going to get back well before them. Okay, and he does take off as well.
Yep.
Alright, everyone's heading back down the trail,
Yep.
moving with a decent pace back down towards where the Tuatara enclosure is. And as you kind of do get there, he does see where you've taken the tarp off and the quad bike that's there.
I just ask him, do you know how to disable this thing so no one but us can use it again?
Well,
Can you take a spark plug or something like that out of it?
Yep, I can disconnect the battery. It won't
Can
be able
you-
to start without
Can
it.
we take the battery with us?
Maybe it's going to take longer to unscrew it.
Can you just take the wire or something, just so if they come looking for it, they can't use it without the piece we take?
Can't you just roll it?
Okay, all right. And he
Which
goes
one's the
over
next
and he does kind of like look around for a little bit, and he does kind of disconnect something. He disconnects another thing, and he's kind of like looking around in it, and it looks like he does take something away from it, but I can't really test it without turning it on, but there's a good chance that it's disabled.
Sweet. Just in case they do want to use it again, they can't.
Okay. All right, we'll give that a go then. You really think there are people here?
Maybe.
Okay, that's reassuring. And he starts to take off away from the Tuatara enclosure back towards the bunkhouse. Okay, and what are you two doing?
Having fun on the boat.
No, sorry. When I say you two, I mean
Nick.
Nick.
I
Nick,
know, I was just-
I would be going back to try and help.
I'll head back to the
with the
bunkhouse as
carrying
well,
the-
yeah. I mean, like, I'm guessing that's a good... I mean, we'll be going back to the bunkhouse, yeah? Because it's...
I'd be going towards where I'd be following Jonah,
could
I
probably-
guess, to try and...
Yeah, I mean, he's heading to the bunkhouse, and from there we could probably just
Yeah.
go in 100 meters or so from the cable, try and...
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he was saying. He was saying he was going to go to the cable and start going from there. He's just
Yeah.
taken off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean...
that's what I'm going to do.
Yep. Okay. All right.
As we pass by the poison shit, I just ask Nick, do you know what's inside here? That's the only one that's locked in here.
I was part of the search crew that
Yeah.
was...
You were.
Yeah, it was just barrels of...
It was really
stuff.
dark. You didn't have any source of light.
Yeah.
There were a lot of barrels in there, and they did have Cyrillic on
Yeah.
them. You
Just
weren't
barrels
able
of
to
stuff I
fully
couldn't read.
search the place. You looked as best as you could then, but it wasn't a good look. You were still more nervous about finding infected.
Not just
Yeah.
that, but we saw the hazardous stuff and we're like, we don't
Yeah,
really
and you were
wanna
like,
be
get
in
out.
here.
Yeah, you took some
Yeah,
filter
exactly.
masks and that's
Yeah.
that's about it.
Do you tell me about the Cyrillic? On the barrels?
I just said stuff I couldn't read.
You'd kind of connect it, wouldn't you? Russian person. Yeah. People Russian
Yeah,
barrels.
that's it. So, and yeah, I basically say it's just full of barrels of stuff I couldn't read, and we didn't really get to search it properly. We wanted to get out of there.
You think the
So
barrels from
has
here, the barrels that might have caused a trail, and the barrels in there?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Who's got the keys that we can actually have a look inside this thing?
Don't remember. I think it's probably Jake.
And some other random person that we don't know.
Let's head back to the bunkhouse. On the way, let's have a look at those dock workers. That's bones are in here. Maybe like they've got a key or something. Maybe
they could. Yeah.
Maybe like the quad was originally.
You haven't seen these, Nick.
I've told them about it though.
Yeah, they've only been told. They haven't seen.
So let's just have a look. Maybe it was theirs and they've got a spare. Maybe by luck.
Okay. All right.
And it's only told Nick and Chloe, right? That's their day.
I haven't said shit to anyone else.
Okay. All right. So you go towards where the bodies, where the remains, which were relatively skeletal, were. You immediately notice there's something different about them when you get close to them. Someone's been digging around here, and the skulls are missing.
I just go like, they had skulls when I got here, and the skulls had bullet holes in them, like I told you. So, we got some deviancy on the island now. Well, more deviancy.
Why? Someone's covering their tracks. Or trying to.
Is it just the skulls that are taken?
Just the skulls.
It's not an animal. This is clearly a person actually wants it. It's either some psychopath just looking to play with some skulls.
Collecting skulls.
Or it is the Russians coming back and covering up their mess with some form.
Roll investigate for me, both Nick and
Fail.
And I'm going to give you. No bonuses for you, Nick, but because you've looked around this area before, I'm going to give you a plus 30. It's like 30, but it's more impressive.
60 pass.
Okay, all right.
Hey.
You see your tread around here. You see one other pair of shoes.
Bigger or smaller than mine?
Smaller.
How much smaller?
If
I was going to go like half, three-quarters.
Not tiny. Maybe like the size of.
Maybe some male number 9 shoes.
Male number 9 shoes. Male number 9 shoes.
Children or women.
And you can actually see like there's a bit of writing in this one, and it says Converse.
I go, Nick.
There's like one real good one that you can make it out. The rest of them, they're not as easy to kind of.
I think Mr. Converse here took the skulls.
Department of Conversation.
Fucking hell. Let's follow it. Get your gun ready. Let's see where Mr. Converse went.
Do you really want to follow a trail for someone you suspect to have stolen skulls?
Yes.
With just 2 of us?
Yes.
You know he's got a thing about like collecting skulls, right? This guy.
So I found those skulls. They're mine.
Yeah, man. I got dibs. Salvage rights.
I reckon we should have more people.
They just see where it goes. Once again, if it ends up being a dead end, then we don't actually bother anyone else. We're not wasting anyone else's time. We just see where it goes. Hell, it might actually. I'd say this quite. It might end up back at the bunkhouse.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know much about Russians, but aren't they like Adidas fans more than like Converse fans?
You can see. You can see. You can see 2 sets of the same shoes, as in like it looks like
coming and going.
Yes, essentially, it seems to be that way.
Okay, let's see where it goes.
Which ones do you want to follow?
Do they go in different directions?
They go in different directions.
The going.
The going? Okay, the going seems to lead you back this way a little bit, and this is from what you can kind of see, because the trail isn't amazing.
I just say keep an eye
under
open,
here
man,
it's a little
in case I
easier
lose it.
because it's not as grassy, but as you kind of get out towards where the poison shed is, it's a little bit harder to follow. And at that point I'm going to need both you and Nick to roll investigate, and it's just flat at this point.
My last sigil on this one.
Okay.
So what's that?
Nope.
64?
Fail.
87 fail.
Oh,
There goes my last sigil.
that's rough. That's rough.
buddy.
I'm
Actually, I should
naked.
sigil and re-roll that.
Sigil and reroll. I have a go. You got
Okay.
2
Yeah.
left.
No, fail.
Oh, God.
88.
rough.
Okay. I just say, look, we know he went out here, and that could be anywhere.
I mean, like you both are able to follow it for a little bit, but it's a point when you kind of get around the poison shed that you're unsure at this point, and you kind of like end up following back around. You're like, no, this isn't it. Like,
Let's go see where if this is where he went, let's see where he came from.
Yep.
Okay.
How
So,
are Jake and stuff going? This is taking a lot of time, right?
oh, they're going back along the
The proper,
It's
like,
going to take a long time for them.
Right.
and they're traveling with a person as well.
dangerous terrain.
sure.
I'm trying to say difficult
Sure,
terrain.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so walking through, like, are you still trying to call through occasionally, like reaching, as you're kind of carrying, just like,
Yeah, we'll
wait,
sort of
rest.
stop and be like, checking in.
Okay.
Did you guys find another pathway that's clearer than forest?
Okay, because that's what you guys are doing. You're taking them through that way.
Yeah, well, it's the
yeah.
only way I know down. I don't know where they are.
Yeah. Okay.
Do I
All right. So you're
hear
kind of
Jake?
calling through.
Because
Not-
we're in the same
not
area.
yet.
I mean, we
No.
just haven't bumped into each other yet.
Exactly,
but-
yeah.
That's true.
No, not at this point. Sorry, you were saying you're going to follow the trail back, right?
Yeah, and because like we
Trying to
followed
see
the
where it
going
goes. The one that
trail,
we
let's follow
followed.
the coming trail.
Okay, it's a little easier to follow it back because it's easier actually to follow it beneath the foliage where there isn't as much grass. You can kind of see the prints a little bit more easier in the mud that's still kind of there, and these do seem to lead back towards the bunkhouse.
Do we
as you
see it
get
go
closer towards
properly into the bunkhouse?
Not directly into the bunkhouse, because again, as you kind of get towards the grass, it's all a little bit all too motted to be able to tell exactly. But it seems to enter the tree line around about, like here, like so, right near the bunkhouse.
And
And
it goes
it
on
looks
the
like
grass.
it's been going through the trees for the most part, and it actually comes out. And if we go to the bunkhouse pit show, we'll be able to see. No, that's the beach.
Yeah.
That's the beach. If we go to the bunkhouse pit chow, we'll be able to see exactly where the trail kind of stops.
Here we go.
The slowest transition ever.
I know, right? I know. We've got to cut through that. So it stops essentially about here. This
And
is
the-
where
Oh,
it's
okay.
difficult to kind of.
And the direction
see.
seems that it did come from that way. It didn't like turn or
This is where the start of it starts for
it's
you.
still
If you will.
fairly fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, fairly fresh. I mean, like, it looks to be as kind of fresh as the ones that you had left around there the day before.
Right, Nick, keep your gun off safety, but just keep it down.
Yep.
Let's have a let's just fuck it. Let's just ask him. And I walk to their house.
You walk to their
Not
house,
us,
like
but
this
us
one
there.
here?
Yeah.
I'm back in there, right?
I
mean, like,
how long did you look for?
I went to look in that place for like maybe 10, 20 minutes, and then I went back.
Well, you spent well longer
Yeah.
following the trail.
So I've definitely gone back to the main house.
Okay, all right, so you're already in this point. And so you're walking up to here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as you kind of get to the stairs, you hear a voice call out to you. Who the fuck are you?
Where was that? Nick.
From behind you,
Behind you.
looking back towards the trees, you see a very large man standing there. You know this man is Dan, you don't know him at all.
Neither does
Standing
Nick.
there in like a very and you.
Do I like hear?
Yeah, you hear a voice outside. Yeah.
I turn around and I look at his shoes.
I poke my head out.
He's a tall bugger,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, he's tall. Yeah,
Alright.
he's big. They seem to be like
Big feet.
they seem to be like
Boots.
I think they're kind of like, you know, they're big kind of boots. They seem to be you know, like almost like hiking boots.
I poke my head out the door.
I wouldn't honestly see that because I turned to him and I'm walking towards him. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
actually see you behind me.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's fine. I just poke my head out. I see Hulk and Dan,
And Nick.
then Nick. I go,
Mm-hmm.
hey.
Oh, no. Either of you, does anybody here wear Converse shoes?
I do.
You, like, anyone
no.
else though? Because you got a cast, so.
No, but the cast doesn't go all the way down to the
But it
foot.
makes you walk funny.
Does make you walk funny.
Plus, I probably have larger feet than these imprints, but just I do have Converse shoes.
Yeah, because you're about as tall as I am, so
Yeah.
that's what, like, and you got a limp. Do you know any of your group wear Converse shoes?
What?
I don't pay a lot of attention to my shoes or the other shoes that people
What's
wear.
going on? Why?
Okay, I walk.
Also, who the fuck are you?
Oh, Dan, these guys are good. They're with our group. They're
Okay.
fine. They're good. Don't worry.
One's good. One's good.
Yeah. Nick, what did you do?
Are they the ones that were out in the woods? The ones
I-
that didn't come back?
Yeah. Though they say that everyone else is fine and on their way back too.
Where's
Like-
Kevin?
On his way back.
And Jonah?
On his
Yeah,
way
yeah,
back.
yeah. They're on their way. Like I would have told everyone inside, but Dan's been outside, so he hasn't heard this. But yeah, I tell him, yeah, they're on their way back.
Yeah, we'll go back. Sorry, can you do me a favor? Just see if anyone with small-ish feet wears Converse shoes.
I guess.
You know those-
What is it? What? For?
And I get closer and say, you know those bodies I mentioned, the dock workers?
Yeah.
Someone with feet smaller than I am, wearing Converse shoes, took their skulls. And they came from the bunkhouse.
Oh.
We followed their tracks back to the bunkhouse.
I'll check. I guess. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Do people keep their shoes on inside here?
No. They take them off when they come inside.
Really muddy inside if it's in.
I look at where we keep all our shoes.
So they're lined up by the front and...
Outside or inside?
Inside,
Is there a
because it's
pair
been
of
raining.
Converse?
There is a pair of Converse there. There's a black pair of Converse shoes.
Are they kind of small?
They're smallish. I mean, like, there are much smaller shoes that are there. But there are also some larger shoes as well. But there is only one pair of Converse shoes there that you can see.
There's two, because I have Converse.
Well, those ones are on your feet.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, true. No, because I just pick my head outside. I wouldn't have my shoes on inside. I get muddy
Okay, there are
everywhere.
two, but you recognize your own. Actually, no. I want you to no, I don't. You recognize your own shoes.
I recognize my own shoes,
Oh,
but I
I
do
forgot to
see
do
there's
this.
like a
Okay.
smallish, well, not small, but like smaller than my. There's Converse shoes there. There are Converse shoes there.
Yes, there are
Okay.
Converse shoes. I feel like I've said this 4
I've-
times now.
Alright, yes. You see them, what do you do with the information?
Who the fuck?
I go over to Frank because he kind of seems to be the de facto leader when Kevin isn't here.
Okay.
Hey, Frank, those the Converse shoes, they're not my ones, the other ones. Who's that for? Sorry.
Not my ones. Right. Because he's going to be like, those are yours. Did you forget again what shoes are yours? We've been through this twice now. The ones that fit you, they're your shoes.
Okay, but
No.
Come on, Sarah.
Who's the those? The smaller ones.
Small ones. I think that's Brian's kid. Why?
Just the.
Did he
guys-
steal yours?
No. The guys found some tracks in the bush that were Converse patterned.
Oh, okay. And why is that?
Yeah, no,
problem?
it's just a little weird. I didn't realize we had people
Walking
going.
in the bush?
I mean,
We all
quite
walked
deep.
through the bush to get here.
No, like off to the west. of where
Okay,
we
he
are.
might have been walking around outside for all I know.
I
I don't keep tabs on them all the time.
Okay,
You were
well-
outside last night.
didn't go for. Okay, I mean, it's not a big deal. I was just wondering because they just found tracks and, you know,
Hang on, why? Who's interested in that?
just someone in our group. They said they saw tracks and wanted to know whose shoes they were.
Can I ask her?
Yeah, it was Skulk.
Can I come over here? And he kind of brings you over to the side, away from the others.
Okay.
And he kind of leans in close to you and he says, "Look, I've talked with Willow, and I know you don't know Willow exactly.
Yeah,
you would have
my
met a few
brain's just
people
trying to-
in there. You actually do know who Willow is. Willow was the nurse that was introduced when you first had your little
Oh, of
meeting.
course. Okay, then yes, I do
Yeah,
actually know
yeah.
her. Yes.
Look, I know the history, so to speak. And the others don't yet, but I know the history behind it. And Why is he interested?
Can't put your foot in it.
There were some bodies that we found out there a day ago. And
Okay.
they've been disturbed.
What bodies? Who?
There were 3 dock workers. We only just found them late yesterday, and just the bodies have been disturbed, and there's converse tracks, and like the heads are gone, and it's just weird. Like, would Brian's kid? What is he a little what like?
A little weird.
There's a lot.
He's a little different. He's usually pretty distant.
But he's like a good kid.
Yeah, okay. Right. Look, word of advice. Maybe open with that next.
Sorry, Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, just things have been a little tense around here, and
I know.
yeah, we should be a bit more open, shouldn't we? I'm sorry.
We should. It's okay.
So
We're all panicking.
yeah, so
Jonah's still gone.
well, they're
Kevin's still going.
they're on their way back.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, but is he around? Brian's kid? Sorry,
He's in
he
the-
would have said his name, right? What's
Yeah.
Brian's kid's name?
Well, you know his
Fraser.
Fraser. It's Fraser.
Yeah, is he like around?
He's in the other room at the moment. Look, I know that you didn't see eye to eye with Flip.
Yeah, we can say that.
But you've proven yourself to be trustworthy enough. You seem to be a good person, so I can go with that for now. But with everything that's going on at the moment, I think disturbing this kid is probably not the best thing for us to do.
Yeah, okay, well, just as long as we know who it was, I guess maybe just if he goes out again, we can keep tabs? I don't know. This whole thing is weird.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. When you were on watch last night with Dan, you didn't see him anywhere, did you? The boy or Flip?
Fraser?
Fraser or Flip?
No, I didn't see anyone. I did fall asleep at one point, but Dan stayed up all night.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could see the bags. I mean, he's probably fast asleep on the floor, so I kind of point he stayed up
Okay.
all night, and he didn't mention.
He wasn't asleep on the floor, was he? He
Yeah.
was outside with Skulk. Dan.
Oh,
right?
Dan. Yes. Sorry. Yes,
Outside
he
with me.
has gotten
It
up
was-
since, but
it was-
I just still. Sorry. Yes, that's right.
Dan.
He's not in there now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Sorry.
He
that's
was
right,
earlier
but,
on.
I
Yeah,
just
that's
still
what I'm
say,
saying. He's not
yeah.
on. You can't point over to him.
But yeah, Dan did stay up all night. He's up now, but he stayed up all night. He didn't say he saw anything, though. Considering how dark it is and everything, maybe
Okay. When the others will get back, it'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, they're on their way back now, and they should be within ready range soon.
Okay. I don't know why they were gone so long.
They must have found something.
Okay.
Awesome.
I don't really know, but
All right. Okay. I'll keep everyone
yeah.
here for now, as calm as we can be.
Yeah, good.
All right. Thanks. And he goes off and he starts talking to some of the others.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I go back outside, but what's been happening while I was having that talk with Frank?
You guys have been outside.
Oh, he's just been shooting shit, I guess.
Yeah.
Up and down at armor.
Yeah, and
what's
unless he
Dan
specifically
doing?
wanted to do something different, he's just standing out there with them.
I guess I poke my head back out. I'm like, hey, so they're on their way. Yeah.
Yeah. Shoes?
One of the kids, but apparently he's just a little weird.
They're a little,
Yeah,
but it doesn't help us.
it doesn't. No, I don't know.
No.
I mean, look, things are a little tense here. We can question him soon, but just maybe right now, just with everything that's going on, let's just let things calm down a bit.
Just
and
leave it for now.
we'll keep
Yeah.
tabs on him, we know who it is now, so...
I also tell Nick's clearly not the Russians,
No.
which means they might still be out there and that we're no fucking closer to getting them.
So, what happened out there, guys?
I
You just tell me
I just fill Chloe in on
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Including the bit where you
should
sabotage.
fill them on
Yeah,
everything.
and I asked what happened.
I just realised that you didn't pass it on.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
no,
like,
no,
like,
Me
no,
shit
no.
for not telling.
no.
I say this after
What happened with me? It was just the zombies I killed,
Yeah,
right?
the zombie attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
eat with
Yeah.
that.
So, by the way, I
Giving
got
me shit for being secretive.
this just slipped my mind. It doesn't affect things. I just
Doesn't
I
have
gotta-
fake things.
I got attacked by 2 zombies.
Right. Do you tell us the fact that there's one still out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, like, as we exchange information. He tells me what's happened. I tell him what's happened.
Jake, you're in range?
Am I in range?
You hear it like come to life
A
for a
zombie
second
stolen the radio.
as you and Kevin are like sweating beads at this point, carrying this man through.
Well, I need a roll. I've got a carry, so yeah. So.
Yeah, this is like it's tough work. You're
glad I got carried
both
now.
kind of carrying him as
If I
best as you
don't hear an
can.
immediate response, I'd ask Dan. I'm like, do you know Kevin and Jonah's frequency?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. And he kind of goes and like dials in. Okay.
Jonah, you in range?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I am.
There's a zombie loose on the island.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So
Well, I mean, we don't know if it was a zombie, but I mean,
Oh.
probably.
I look at it like,
It-
let's not take the chance. Because I
It is
said,
Nathan, sorry.
You hear fuck's sake a little clearer on your radio
Said a
at this
random-
point. And Kevin's like, I've got to stop.
Alright.
I've got to stop.
right, and I just sort of just give the brief overview of like, 3 zombies got washed in on the tide, 2 are dead, a 3rd one is missing.
One.
So I'd say just watch out.
Okay.
But with the guy bleeding, I might smell fresh blood and head over to Jake and Kevin.
As soon as we put him down, and since I just sort of heard it, I want to sort of just climb a tree. Just try and get a little bit higher, you know?
Okay, all right. I need you
Bit
to
of
roll
fresh air.
athletics for me. I'm going to give you a +10 to that, but that's all.
Monkey insects.
And as you're doing that, Kevin just kind of like sit down against this, like puts the guy on the ground and he sits.
Sorry, plus what to that?
+10.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. How much do you like? How bad? Like,
68.
what did you roll? 68 fail?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That was what? 14 over.
Okay. No. So it's just like it's you.
Everything's slippery.
You struggle. I mean, it's a little slippery. I mean, like you start to make your way up. It just takes a long time. You're already tired, and you're getting more
Yeah,
tired by
yeah.
doing this. But you start trying to make your way up, and as you're doing it, Kevin's like sitting back there, and he's kind of like sighing, and then you hear. And looking down,
I stopped
you
climbing and
see
looked
the
down.
man Victor like cough up blood, and Kevin like kind of get up and go over towards him, and he like opens up here, and
Yeah,
you can see
falling
that
back down.
that more blood is starting to flow, and he's kind of looking up towards Kevin, just like. Oh, like, did you get down?
Yeah, I'm
You're
coming
coming
down.
towards.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
like
yeah, so I
you
did, yeah.
kind of get to him as well, and he
Yeah.
sees you there as well, and he's kind of looking at both of you, and there's a look of confusion in his eyes. There is a look of just utter confusion.
I grab his hand, sort of, you know, as people do with people who are bleeding
Yeah.
out, and try and sort of show that we're not the assholes that shot
Okay.
him. Just the
Okay.
guys on here that shot him. So he's bleeding out of his wound, is
Yes,
he? Alright, then
yeah,
put a bit of
yeah,
pressure
it's
on
going.
that. Unfortunately, it hurt like hell. Probably put him on the side if he's got blood in his mouth.
And he does kind of like pour out a little bit, and it looks like he's trying to say something. He's going.
Leave what?
No, leave.
Oh, leaf.
And he goes still. Fuck.
Check for a pulse.
And Kevin's just like kind of walked away at this point, and you check for a pulse and you wait. And there's something there for a second, and then you feel a beat. Beat. Silence.
Alright, straight for CPR. And I'm not making this sound.
As you're pushing in, like more and more blood is flowing out and is soaking through your
Yeah.
hands, soaking into your gloves as you're pushing in, and Kevin's just walked away. He's just going. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what his part in what this is, any of this is. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I can't put it together. I don't have the pieces.
We can figure out if there's 2 more Russians here. We might be able to find out. There might be some more information down the hole we can have a look at.
I can't go back there.
You don't have to. But let's just try and get him. You got more medical supplies back there. We've got a bit to go, but fuck it, let's just get him back.
He's gone. We don't have the equipment, the capability. Even if I got him to Willow, she's not going to be able to save him. He's gone. I'm too slow.
Do you have a knife?
Yeah.
I still don't know 100% how this thing works. We just gotta be sure.
Okay.
Take the knife. What if he's not actually dead though?
You never know. What are you going to do, Jake?
Sort of keep holding for a pulse and wait for the blood to stop. Well, I guess the blood will not be pumping out anymore.
You stand over him for a time, waiting for some kind of reaction, anything.
Just something.
He's kind of over on his side still, and his eyes are still open
Close
with
his
that
eyes.
last kind of look. It's that same look of confusion on his face. But you close them, and you wait, and there's no response. He remains still.
And I sort of pull him up and stab him in the back of the head.
Okay. Goes in easy, and you rest him back down. Alright. The blood flows into the earth, and the man lays there still. We've got to push on, we've got to get back to the others.
Yeah. Grab the other end. We'll take him with us. We need to bury him.
Alright. Okay.
Good to go.
And you continue walking along the trail.
I wonder
I
if
say
someone
trail,
told
but it
us.
ain't
I
much
wonder
of
if
a
someone
trail.
told us there was a pathway down here. We could have got there. In time.
Well,
Maybe. You'll never
honestly,
know.
like, but by the time you would have gotten in range of the pathway, you would have been on the pathway. One of those. It's a catch-22.
But you slog on for as long as you can. With the forest canopy above you, you take difficulty walking back and you still need to rest again and again.
While
But eventually,
Yeah.
you do hear your radio crackle into life and you hear the test calls coming through.
I was going to say, after I called Jonah, I would have told Nick, since we know there's might be Russians and there is a zombie loose, so shall we just patrol? Just keep an eye out while we're waiting for Jake, Jonah, and Kaylin to get back?
Yeah, but we definitely need to keep an eye out.
Yeah.
I want to get to them as quick as possible.
Well, Jonah's
So I
already out
might head
there.
off.
You want to head
What's
out
that?
as well? Because Jonah's already going. I mean, he is already halfway
Yeah, that's
there.
true.
By the time we get there, he'll already be back by the time we get to them.
Yeah. Might as well just stay and keep these guys safe.
Yeah, let's just go from here to the boat shed and back. Patrol this, so at least, I don't know. The other 2 zombies came this way. There's a good chance the third one might find its way, well, not home, but here.
Alright. So you begin doing your patrol, going back between the bunkhouse and the
boathouse.
boathouse, going back and forth, trying to see whatever it is you can during that. And eventually, Chloe, you see 3 people, and a 4th hanging between them, eventually emerge from the bunkhouses,
I
from the
rush
cave.
out to meet him.
You
All
rush
right.
out to meet the Russian?
You see
Rushing to the Russian.
You see Jonah, and you see Kevin just looking absolute mess. Blood all over his hands, blood all over his shirt. Jake has blood on his hands as well. And they're carrying this man in what looks to be like a clean suit between them.
And yes, physically I have blood on my hands, but Jonah is the one looking for it.
What happened?
But he's physically not.
We'll explain. Look,
Just need some water.
where's Flip? Need to tell him everything.
I don't know. No one's seen him.
He wasn't here?
No.
When did you see him?
I haven't. The last time I saw him was on the boat, I guess. No one's seen him.
He didn't come back last night.
No.
Did he say he was going up the line?
No one's heard from
Up the cable?
No one's heard from him, Kevin. No one. I've asked Frank and everyone inside. No one's heard from him.
Okay,
Look,
where's Frank?
There's a zombie loose on the island. But only since...
Just
Wait,
the one?
when was it? Was it last night or this morning?
Yesterday afternoon.
It was yesterday evening, right?
Mm.
When Scott saw that?
Yeah.
Since last night, there were 3. I killed 2, but there's still 1 out there, I think.
Oh, we should not have left.
No, guys, this shit would have happened either way. It was all really quick, don't worry.
I radio
Okay, but
Scott.
everyone's okay.
No, Holly, died.
Okay.
Yeah. Poor Scott is actually awake right now.
Just saying, while this is going on, I've called Scott.
Okay, you call through him. There's
Yeah.
no answer.
I'll keep trying for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna grab
No
someone
answer.
and go to Rubber Ducky and go to the boat.
It was
Who,
really
who,
quick,
who are you
though.
grabbing?
Whoever's sort of closest on the way between
Okay.
Skulk and Nick. Just one of them, obviously.
Okay.
I'll do it. What? Sorry, I drifted off for a sec.
Going with Jake to see what Scott
Yeah. Yeah.
got up to.
I give my gun to Kevin. So he's got something a bit better. Although, where's the other
He's got a gun.
Where's the other one?
What other one?
We've got 2 bullpups and a shotgun and 4.
Doesn't Scott
pistols.
have one bullpup and a pistol with him?
You have a bullpup,
I
Nick
ain't-
has a shotgun.
I don't have any
You
guns.
need to no.
Oh, really?
If it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like it's been put somewhere
Well,
and we've forgotten where it
is
is.
it on the boat?
No, because
I don't know.
they took everything
Is it?
everything off the boat,
So it'll be in our room.
so it's
It'll be in
that's
the
in the
room.
room.
Be in the
Maybe.
room.
Depends who's taking care of it.
Yeah, if someone's got in there, maybe some
Maybe.
Converse wearing motherfucker.
Maybe.
who'd
Okay,
to
but,
play second skulls.
Kevin kind of just plumps himself down by the bunkhouse at this point, and
No, be in the Rubber Ducky.
Jonah takes off his coat, puts his bag down
The one
outside,
closest you were.
down by the
Okay.
table,
Fuck you. I mean,
and
Guys.
yeah, they just both kind of just stop and sit down, and they're both exhausted. Like everyone's exhausted from this. You're exhausted as well from carrying that man the entire way, and now he's lying there on the grass.
Yep.
You've gone off.
I go wash my
Leaving him
hands, and I'm gonna
No, you've gone to the rubber ducky
with Nick.
with Nick. So you've left. You've gone to the rubber ducky.
I wash my hands in the sea.
And now it's just Chloe.
I'm
and
still just
you guys are
walking
still
about.
patrolling.
I'm
you're
still next now. Go. I'm just
you're,
having a
you're
walk
still
about.
on that as well.
I asked Kevin and Jonah, what happened out there?
Confusion. Mistakes. Shouldn't have happened the way it did, but it did. That man died because of it. And I don't know if he was a bad man or a good man or who he was at all. And I can't blame Jonah for it. He did what he thought was right in the moment. He was trying to protect us, trying to keep us safe. So, there we go. That's how it is.
Things just happen sometimes.
Yeah. But we're back here now, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to talk to Frank and
Yeah.
find Flip. Okay. Alright, and he enters the building.
Yeah. I help him enter. He
He can stand on himself. He's a
Jonah?
little shaky, but he's alright. Jonah's just staying outside on the bench.
Okay. Well, I go in with Kevin, I guess.
Okay. Alright, eventually, Jake and Nick, you do come across Skulk, quite close down by the boathouse.
I just asked you, do you see anything on the way back?
No, when we lost the Russian, he died.
Right. Do you know about the third zombie?
We do. So they got Kevin and Joanna are staying back there. You can either come with us. We're gonna go check on Scott. He's not answering, or just, it's probably safer if everyone sticks together.
At the moment, yeah, that's going to be way awkward back there with all the dead people.
Yeah, maybe. Well, if you want to go back and clean that stuff up, otherwise I'll come help later on. So go check on Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Dan already cleaned that up.
There's still the other dead body,
There's
and there's
dead
blood
bodies.
there.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll join you two going to the second chance. I mean, after that, I could use a shower anyway.
Same, nice warm shower.
Okay, so all three of you get into the rubber ducky and take it over towards the second chance. It's more just where it was before, and you end up boarding just around the back of it, around the rear of the second chance.
So as we're coming up, I'll be like,
Oh, Scott didn't go in.
Oh no, I'm not going into it.
As we're coming up, I'm just assuming the radio's off or out of battery or whatever, so I'm like, Scott,
Just
you
to
there?
Calling out.
just to tell you, I didn't clean up any of the stuff I was going to check through.
He's got all the dildos
Yeah.
placed out.
So no, they'll
Yeah.
be scattered around where I pulled them out from.
Okay, all
They're
right.
like in your cocaine fueled jerseys, like in like patterns.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like this is Sagittarius.
So you-
and that is the hunter.
you
else do you think there are?
Oh, well, Orion, the hunter.
you end up boarding the
like
ship.
a villain.
You hear nothing at all. No sound. It is silent on here.
Bring my gun out.
Okay. All right.
Sort of make a bit of noise. Standard thing we normally do.
Nothing.
Like, does it have a back like porthole, portula? What's that thing you call for a window on a boat?
Oh yeah, it's got like
that's the gate. of
yeah,
the
like
castle.
a little one, but the curtain's drawn across it at the moment.
But it is something like for the back of the thing.
Yes, it's like it's on one of the lower. It's like on the lower thing.
that's
So it's
where
right down by the ladder. There's like a little window.
I just take
Yeah.
the back of my machine and just like rap on it, not to break the glass, but just to make because it's metal on glass. Clunk,
Okay.
clunk, 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 clunk.
You do hear this, and it wakes you up, and you find yourself waking up in that bed with like the sheets kind of like all over the place, and there is a few bottles of stuff around you, and there is a bit of a mess in the corner, and you have one hell of a splitting headache at the moment. But you're awake, and you can hear the rapping on the side of the boat. It's like yo.
Yeah,
That's-
so I was like, I was
I know,
thinking,
so-
man.
we're both terrible. Both terrible.
So if I haven't
I'm
heard
just like-
anything after
I'm just
that,
like,
then I'll
yeah.
give up. Okay.
Right, let's get on.
I put my gun away.
I'll warm my shower.
I go and find Scott.
You go and find Scott? Okay, you find Scott downstairs in the bed. There is a lot of stuff all around the place. What we
Some
discussed
like
before.
dildos.
Porno
Well, I mean,
bags.
like some of the stuff that was like found underneath the bed is just like kind of like on the floor. There's stuff like everywhere, but like the whole bottom of the place, like it looks like someone's broken into the ship. Like stuff's everywhere,
What the
I
fuck
do
happened
ask, it's
there?
like, did someone break in here?
and you're like still in like a real slur at the moment, and you're
Oh, I can't remember. Some shit happened.
What happened to you?
And what's with these things? Please tell me you washed them, mate. Afterwards.
And before.
no,
I don't
like,
care about before, mate.
as far as you can tell, the devices haven't been used, but like
I didn't inspect them that closely.
there's lots of like the tapes and stuff like that around on the floor, and
I don't think this was a normal average person's boat. I think this was a very special boat.
Oh.
Let's just say there's a lot of cassettes upstairs. Oh no, sorry, on this level that have some very mature content on it.
Right. I go and get him a glass of water.
Okay.
Yeah,
Clearly
I'm
unknown.
constantly just like, I'm just like that. My
Clearly
eyes are
unknown.
like,
Yeah.
I get a shower.
Okay.
screen's
Nice
All
hot
right.
shower.
All right. You start having yourself a shower.
Now I start taking off my fucking rain gear and the fucking
Okay.
jacket and
On the bottom level, on the second level, where are you kind of at the moment?
what's on the second level?
Everything.
Everything. I'll go to where everything is.
Okay. All right.
And
So
what I'm rinsing out my shit again.
I imagine just kind of like rinsing it off the back type thing.
Yeah.
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 Okay. While you're rinsing that off on the back, I need you to roll perception for me,
Oh,
and I want you to add a 20 to it.
No, mate. Fail A4.
Okay.
Do you want to use your last sigil?
after he's had
Okay.
the shower, I want to shower.
I just wonder if there's any dry socks. I don't care about like the dry other clothes. Just I'm gonna see if there's dry socks in the bedroom or something.
Okay. All right. So Nick, where are you positioned on the boat at the moment?
I'd probably just be waiting in the
Binoculars.
deck somewhere.
Waiting. Okay. So when
Just
you're
waiting-
kind of doing
waiting for the
your
shower, 'cause everyone
rinsing
else
of
is doing
things.
shit.
Yeah, Skulk was the first one to jump into the shower. So while you're kind of just waiting, sitting out there as well, and you see Jake kind of rinsing this off, I also need you to roll that same perception check.
Sigil.
Yep, I did, and I passed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
40.
40. Okay. All right. So as Jake is kind of rinsing this off, and you're seeing him kind of like rinsing his stuff like that, and you're feeling just as bad as well. You know, you don't feel super hot, and you're kind of watching him do this, and your eyes focus on something in the distance, something that at first just seemed like something in the background that you weren't quite focusing on because your mind was adrift because you didn't sleep very well at all. But eventually it does start to come into focus, and what you see is a very, very, very large ship out at sea. And it doesn't seem to be moving, but it's just there, and it's distant. But you can tell it's a large ship because of how far away you're still able to see this thing. It seems to be sizable,
Yeah.
From which angle? Like from like the north, the south?
way out to sea,
Because okay.
from the angle where we are at the
I'd
moment.
get up, nudge Jake, and point over to the boat. What do
So
you
that's it.
reckon?
I'll go grab the binoculars and
The binoculars are hanging around Scott's neck.
then I'd go to, since I know exactly where they are, I'd go and grab them, come back up and...
Okay. All right. Roll perception and plus 30 to that.
With a sigil.
With a sigil?
Plus 55.
Okay.
16.
Okay. Okay. All right. So the binoculars help, but there is a bit of like distortion because of the haze that we have still at the moment as well. So what you're able to tell is that this is a large container ship. It seems to be quite a large container ship. And there are a number of containers on this container ship. It's best you're able to tell by looking at its motion. Well, looking at it against the horizon, it doesn't seem to have motion. It seems to be stationary. But as you kind of hang there for a little while looking through your binoculars, you can detect movement. 2 small wakes, it looks like. Maybe 2 small vessels. It's far away, so it's hard to tell for certain, but you can see something that's moving in relation to the ship and you. It's very hard to make out what it could be, but you can see that there is something moving.
We're going to end there, or do I get to...
Well, if there's anything you want to do before we do.
Yeah, I want to scream. Like, alright, get your shit back on. Scott, get the fuck up here. Scott, get out of the shower. I'm on the radio. I'm like, fucking, there's a big fucking container with maybe 2 boats coming our way.
Okay.
Wait, is it moving towards us?
No, the container isn't, but I saw 2 small wakes.
You call this out across the radios, you call this out to everyone on the ship. Everyone does hear this on the second chance. Some a little bit more muffled than others, but you do hear it all the same.
I guess I hear it.
You hear your radio crackle to life. And everyone does kind of like stir for a moment. And with that, we're going to be ending the chapter. We've been down the rabbit hole, and we've seen into the minds of some of our players in this session. some having more empathy, emotion, and humanity than others. We'll see where that takes us in the long run as we begin to change over time. Some falling further, others rising from it. We'll see where the collisions happen as they do. It's been a different chapter for all of you. You've all had your own experiences in some way, but you've all managed to survive it. Some of you with, well, potentially fatal injuries. We don't know for certain.
Just a Sonic.
Just a Sonic.
Yeah. So
We'll see.
it's gone by the time we start the next session. It's fine.
But that is where we're going to be ending chapter 2. Thank you all for joining us for another chapter. Please do join us in the next. I've been Rycon. This has been everyone. Yay. We're still alive. Happy to be here. Thank you all for joining me. I've been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay breathing.